What's going on, everyone? This is Awiz, formerly known as Achilles LBT, coming at you with a brand new video. And in today's video, we will be showcasing the newest hero, Cassia, on the newest version of the game, the 2.0 beta, which I will actually do a full review, like opinion-wise, on like everything that they've added. I'm gonna wait until this goes live before I actually start commenting on like how much I like this, because I would rather do that when like all of my real statistics, if you will, are like factored in, because obviously this is the PTR, so I have a bunch of characters here at level 1, which is really not the case on my main account at all, which is not the case on anybody's main account. I really can't think of a player that would have more done on the PTR than they would on their main, but you never know. Regardless, I'm very high on this hero as it is, and this is a video showcasing a build that I came across that I feel like is the right way for me to go personally, and maybe it'll be something that'll fit good for you, like in regards to like playing the character. There is one very noticeable comparison that I want to make for this hero in regards to a character that I played in a different MOBA, but we'll get to that along the way on the gameplay.
The wait is over.
Alright, so that took a very long time, but we are on the Haunted Mines, and let's go over the compositions. The friendly composition will be a Lenara, a Nubarak, Artanis, Karazim, myself as Cassia, going against the Brightwing Zul'jin, Olarak, Artanis, and a Vala. Interestingly enough, they found me a lobby where there isn't a mirror match taking place, so at least we won't have to worry about that. At level 1, we're going to be going for True Sight. This is going to empower our W, which is our blind. Now, the idea behind this hero and playing it effectively is to take advantage of every opportunity you can to deal damage to heroes while you have them blinded. Because the whole idea, offensively, behind this hero is that she deals bonus damage to targets that she has blinded. So, whenever you do cast this blind, you want to cast it in a spot where you can hit more than one target, as you're about to see me do right there, and then engage with your E to take people down. And again, all of this stacks on to your quest talent at level 1. Basically, every time you deal damage to an enemy hero, you get credit for a stack, and you need to do it 80 times to get full credit. So we're going to do that again. The nice thing about this talent at level 1, as you see, we take down Artanis. Excuse me, I'm still kind of getting over something. The nice thing about that talent is that it counts the strikes from your E ability, so you can actually stack this up very quickly. You see, we're less than a minute into the game, and we already have 25 strikes counted. So all we need is 80, and the benefit that we get to going for this quest is that it actually gives us a full second more of blinded time, which means we get a full second more of dealing bonus damage. Again, I apologize for like my lack of a voice. It's gonna be a problem in this video, no doubt. But I'm gonna try my best. Regardless, I mentioned in the introduction to this video that this character actually struck a bearing resemblance to me, in my opinion, to another hero in another MOBA. That hero would be Pantheon from League of Legends. If you notice, if you really think about it, rather, she almost has the exact same skills that Pantheon has, where her Q throws a spear that deals damage. Her E actually does like a cone of damage when she when she engages. Again, I have no idea when my voice is going to give, it just randomly does. You see, we did massive damage right there. And she has a defensive mechanic about her. That's the one thing I didn't go over yet. When she's moving, she actually she gains physical armor, and she becomes that much more tankier, which is actually really nice for an assassin. Excuse me. That's going to be a really big problem for this video. This is actually a reason I haven't been recording in the past week. Regardless, you see, we're not having any trouble dealing damage to anybody just yet. And you notice we're not really hard engaging until we have the blind off cooldown. And that's really the way you should be approaching this character. Again, my voice just gives out Like, after I can only get out like 5 or 6 words at a time before my voice starts to cave, so I do apologize for that. Gonna do that. We were able to land that on 2. I'm pretty sure we already have our quest done. Yeah, we do. So that just goes to show you like how fast you can get that done. We do have a very good engage from our teammates here. I'm gonna make sure I keep moving around in the middle of this team fight to make myself that much tankier. I could just engage on this. I don't even need the blind. At level 4, we went with Inner Light. What this does is that anytime we get stunned or rooted, it'll cast a blind on our exact location. So it's like a defensive failsafe, if you will. So anybody that might stun or root you, if there's an auto attacker around, they're not landing any damage on you whatsoever. The other thing that's actually a bigger deal about this upgrade is that it actually increases, passively increases the radius of your blind by 25%. I can't, like, on a side note, I can't, like, stress, like, how frustrating it's been for me personally to, like, not have a reliable voice this entire time. I really wanted to use my, my blind for wave clearing purposes right there, but the enemy team kind of, engaged at the proper time to kind of stop that. Which is fine, it's not a big deal. We are about to hit level 7 as well, so that's also good. They have quite a few auto attackers. Now, this is the other thing that I wanted to mention about this hero that you absolutely need to take advantage of. If you're going to play this hero at her full potential, you need to take advantage of how good she is at dealing damage to enemies in a group. Now, we're going to go for Impale here at level 7. What this is going to do is actually help my, my kill potential quite a bit. So anything less than 40% health, I deal increased damage to with my E ability. Wanted to move this out of the way. It's not a conventional active ability, that level 4 upgrade. It's just got an icon as if it is. And it works on a very, very small cooldown as well, so that's nice. One thing you never want to do when you play this character is be like stationary. You don't want to be still, because that just negates the defensive bonus she has. So she just becomes a regular, ordinary assassin if you're standing still with her. See, we had no trouble taking down Brightwing right there. We're dealing massive amounts of damage here. No problem. And the enemy team just does not seem interested in actually getting out of the way. There we go. 4 enemies down. This could be a very, very quick game. And I mean, I guess you could kind of see why I said earlier that I'm so high on this hero right now. That'll take down Artanis. And we have teammates that are actually following up on our engages. That's another good thing. I did miss my skill shot right there, but we were able to keep him moving back. Again, they're still looking to engage here. We're about to hit level 10. Could be dangerous for them. There we go. We're going to be going Ball Lightning at level 10. Honestly, I'm just going to put this out there right now. I feel like the Valkyrie had a lot of potential on paper, but seeing it in actual practice, I kind of feel like it's a bit underwhelming. So, like, really, almost all the time, I'll go for the Lightning. Now, this is why. Again, I said you need to take advantage of Cassia's, like, group damage, if you will. And that's exactly what you would be doing with Ball Lightning. Here we go. We secured another kill. Cassia is just, like, her sweet spot is team fighting, in my opinion. Like, if you have a bunch of targets to attack all in a group and you're not paying attention to the Cassia on the other end, it is a matter of time. You guys, your entire team, if it's played right, your entire team is, like, really, really playing on borrowed time, in my personal opinion. And again, I feel confident about the build that I'm showcasing in the video. Every time I've used it, I've gotten, like, monstrous results. We're gonna do that. There we go. 21-2, we're outslaying this team. They're just really, really, really not playing this all that smart. For what it's worth, I actually don't feel like this character. I feel like I say this every single time that I do a video about a new hero and I'm having a game like this. But I'm not lying about it. I'm being honest. I don't feel like this hero is really all that overpowered. I think you need to know what you're doing with this character. Because I've seen other people use this hero and like spec around different things, or like not look to engage on blinded targets. Things of that nature. Just like really like questionable decision making. And it's really noticeable when you don't play this hero to her strengths. We have our ult off cooldown, but there was really no need to use it right there.
Very good.
Our team is staying grouped extremely well. That has a lot to do with why this is so easy. That and the enemy team just keeps grouping up for me to do like massive amounts of damage. They're not doing anything to change that. So that kind of just plays to my favor. And this is also very accurate. But I feel like this is accurate of HOTS in general right now. Like either one team is getting stomped or the other one is. So right there, I was trying like crazy to get that off. I'm probably gonna die here, so I'm gonna move around. We're gonna take down Artanis. There we go. The polymorph really put me in a bad way, and I'm really fortunate that they didn't take me down. There we go. I thought for sure that was going to be my first death right there.
The summoning is complete.
There we go. It's massive amounts of damage. Again, that's what you want to do. You want to make sure you're dealing massive amounts of... You want to make sure you're putting all of your buttons on targets while they're blinded. That is your only concern, is focusing blinded targets. There we go. It's going to be a dead Zul'jin in a second. Yeah, I still did it a little early. We went for Seraph's Hymn at level 13. What this does... Well, the thing that I really like about this talent is that when you deal damage to blinded targets, it actually reduces the cooldown of your blind altogether quite a bit. Like, it's a significant amount. So it gives you your money-making ability, like... fairly more often. I'm probably going to die here. Good polymorph there by Brightwing. Couldn't finish this game without a death. But it does give us a chance to look at our stat line here. We've already secured 13 kills, 13 assists, 33,000 hero damage. If... I don't think she's overpowered at all. Again, like if you'll notice, if you start paying attention to like what other people are doing with her, and she's not really having the desired effect, you'll notice that she needs to know. You need to know what you're doing. And again, that's why I keep like stressing it in this video. You need to really take advantage when you blind people. Like there's no getting around it. And again, she could use that for things like this. She could also wave clear with this. She could also deal damage to camps. Her blind mechanic works on everything. And again, your mobility is a big deal. So like everything that we've picked towards her E ability is mainly for kill potential. That's about it. You want to build to set up your to buff the effectiveness of your blinds for the most part. But then when you get your chances here and there, like I'm going to do right now, picking Penetrate at 16, you want to take small upgrades to like really buff the kill potential of your E ability. There we go. We waited it out. Now, one thing I do wonder about is if a character like Artanis, if he goes blinds, does it actually benefit? Does Cassia still get the damage buff from somebody else's blinds? Because if that's the case, Cassia is a monster pick to go with Artanis. She's a monster pick to go with Johanna. She's a monster pick to go with Lily. Her wombo potential is insane, but I'm not sure if that's how it works. We should be able to end the game right here, to be honest. And you just see how much damage we did right there. And now we have percentage-based damage tied to our E ability as well. These guys are just done. They're ready to get out of here. That's going to be the game. Hopefully did a good job of showcasing why this hero is actually, like, pretty good. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Definitely a fast game. We didn't even have to get to level 20 to showcase what we wanted to showcase. But again, I definitely don't think Cassia is overpowered. I just think you need to know what you're doing. And again, a big part of that is taking full advantage of, like, blinded targets. Like, you need to know when to engage with her, and you have to take advantage of that. You have to take advantage of her damage potential when she's in team fights, when enemy teams are grouped up. She's very, very, very strong when the enemy team is grouped up. And it's just something that you really, really, really need to take advantage of. You see, we secured 14. We assisted on another 19. We only died once. And we had top damage in the lobby. So, you know, it kind of speaks for itself. She absolutely is a hard counter to pretty much all forms of auto-attacking. The thing that I didn't get to showcase because the character wasn't in this match, Cassia, if nothing else, is an absolute savage of an option to hard counter Sergeant Hammer. She can literally walk. My first game with Cassia, I was playing against the Hammer, and I was able to just walk all up and down within Hammer's range, not take any significant damage at all, because Cassia's trait negates auto attack damage so long as she's moving. So when you factor that in, she's an absolute savage against Hammer. Hammer is just a stationary hero that deals auto attack damage over and over and over again. Now, for typical heroes, that's a lot to deal with. But for Cassia, she does it without even breaking a sweat. And when you factor in the blinds and the critical hit, the critical damage that she deals to blinded targets, you know, you just kind of put two and two together. Going over the build we showcased briefly in this 13-minute match. At level 1, we went for True Sight. It's a quest. It's a talent. It's a quest talent at level 1, damaging blinded enemy heroes 80 times with abilities or basic attacks. The reward is that you increase the blinding light's blind duration by a second. The passive is that you increase the blind light's passive damage bonus by 10%. So all aces, right? Level 4. You go for the defensive option here. Whenever Cassia is stunned or rooted, blinding light is cast at her location. This effect is a 6-second cooldown, and the big one here is that the passive blinding light's radius is increased by 25%, so you can actually put the blind on more targets than you normally can, which means you can deal critical damage to everybody that you catch a lot easier. Level 7, this is one of the examples of me tacking on to the E ability for kill potential. We went for Impale. Enemies below 40% health take 50% increased damage from range. From Fend, excuse me. At level 10, we went for Ball Lightning again. This is a monster pick for team fight scenarios. You throw a ball of lightning at an enemy hero that bounces up to 6 times between nearby enemy heroes and Cassia, dealing 200 damage to enemies hit. Now, this is the thing you have to keep in mind. You have to keep Cassia positioned in a spot where the ball can keep bouncing into the damage. In case you, for some reason, want to use this in a 1v1, you have to stay in a spot where the ball will bounce back off of you onto your target. If not, you literally only hit them once and that's it, and it gets no value. Really, you shouldn't be trying to use this in a 1v1 regardless, but if you have to, you have to. At level 13, we went for Seraph's Hymn. It reduces Blinding Light's mana cost from 70 to 40. Basic attacks against blinded enemies reduce the cooldown of Blinding Light by 3 seconds. At level 16, we went for Penetrate. Enemies take 3% increased damage from Fend each consecutive hit. Again, the kill potential talents are at 7 and 13, and the rest of the way we purely build into our spec into our blinds. And at level 20, I would have tacked on the upgrade for Ball Lightning, which makes the ball bounce indefinitely. This is a very, very, very solid hero at the moment. I have no idea like what they're looking at right now as far as balancing, because you know they like to change things about the new heroes when they come out. It's very rare when you see a new hero get released and you see no changes whatsoever. I'm not sure if Blizzard feels like this character is supremely overpowered right now, or if they feel like she's underpowered, but it will be interesting to see her basic mechanics, her base kit. I really, really like it. She almost feels in a lot of ways like, I know I made the Pantheon comparison as far as League of Legends, and I think it's very warranted. I think it would be like completely like copy and pasted if she had a global ult, but she doesn't. Not that they needed that, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of comparisons to be made between Pantheon and Cassia. I didn't even bring up the defensive comparison where she takes reduced damage while she's moving from auto attackers. Pantheon, if you recall, builds block charges over time while dealing damage. So when enemy heroes try auto attacking him, he gets an automatic block, negates the full 100% of the damage. Similar mechanics there, but I digress. I think this hero is off to a good start, and yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. She kind of feels like a close range Vala to me in a lot of ways. What do I mean by that? Vala basically is one of those unique heroes. Like when you talk about damage dealers, you pretty much classify them as auto attack damage or ability damage. And Vala's in that unique middle ground where she does a significant amount of damage both ways. She does significant ability damage and significant auto attack damage. And I think that's what we have in Cassia as well. Cassia would be the second hero I could think of that deals meaningful damage both ways. You could argue Sonya's kind of in that mix as well, but I don't know that anybody would agree with me on that. Regardless, if we're just talking assassins here, Cassia to me in a lot of ways feels like a close range Vala that has blinds and defensive properties about her, which is very, very scary when you really, really think about it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Definitely high on this character. Looking forward to her release next week. Looking forward to seeing what changes they make to her, because maybe they do feel like she's a bit overtuned. But as always, I appreciate the support. This 2.0 upgrade is definitely the shot in the arm the game needed, and hopefully it results in more videos coming back up on the channel, because I know that I've been inactive for a while, and I do apologize for that. Again, a small part of that, though, has been my current health, and thankfully I didn't cough the entire video. But as always, I appreciate the support. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. As always, this is Awiz, formerly known as Achilles LBT, and as always, that's Achilles with the Z. Remember it.